Hello and welcome back to another CM Travels video. It's wonderful to have you with me here today. My name is Murray Forbes. We're going to be talking about the 70-300 AF-P lens F4.5-5.6E. In case you had to miss that E. Been using it with the FTZ adapter, the Nikon Z6. I have it. Something came crashing down. Look at this little beauty. Looks a little bit strange. But what do you think? You know what we have to do first though. That's cue the intro. Thank you for joining me today and talking about this wonderful little AF-P lens from Nikon. A quick insight into why I got this lens out again is because it's got the most views on our website, on our YouTube channel. You can check it here. And I just thought, okay, well, maybe you would like to see more of me using this lens out in the field and giving you more feedback, particularly now that I have it attached with the FTZ adapter to the Nikon Z6 and give a quick performance and overview. Now, if you haven't seen that first video I did, welcome to click that link there. I also want you just to take note of how different the setting was back then and what I'm currently filming on now versus what I was filming on then. I believe I was using a Canon 7D Mark II, I think, to do most of my film work. And yeah, we've just been hugely thankful to Nikon for getting me on board with them and being able to use their gear and review it. So without further ado, I'm going to, just for nostalgia's sake, do a little example test of how I tested it before, just here in the studio, before I take it outside and give you a real world review. And let's do it quickly. Camera's on. Still got that smooth. Now these lenses have been known to creep with time. If you use them a lot, they tend to have that. Still in video mode here. Let me click it across. I must admit it all is working pretty good at this time. Give me 1 second. Right, I've got it set up. I have it at the moment on focus, just dynamic. And let's have a little listen to the different focusing sounds that we get. Now this is supposed to be very, very quiet, as I mentioned in the previous review. Let's do some quick focusing tests here. You'll be able to pick up the sound pretty good. Or maybe you didn't hear anything, just like me, doing those little quick focus tests there. Very fast. At 70mm. It's out to 300 now. Let's have a go. I don't know about you guys, but I'm still not hearing much. Absolutely wonderful. So far, so good. I just did that quick studio test because you'll have noticed that I did that a very similar test, comparing it with the 300 f4 AF-P lens with this little beauty. But I'm really looking forward to getting outside, taking some pics, and really getting the nitty-gritty on how this little lens is adapting with the Z6, because perhaps you might be one of those people who is interested in moving into the mirrorless world, but have this lens and are keen to see just how it works. Just a quick note from my side, this channel is not sponsored. Nikon do send me gear for me to review and then send it back to them. All the opinions that you hear here are honest and of my own. If you would like to help the channel, please check out the affiliate links in the description down below to small rig gear. You might have seen them before, as well as an affiliate link to artlist.io where you can get all of the best music right now today. If you sign up, you get 2 months free music just for using the link in the description. Go ahead and check those out. Immediately when using the lens outside, I felt that it was slightly slower, of course, than the native Z mount lenses to the Z6. Not surprisingly, considering we're having to use the FTZ adapter. I put the focus onto animal focus mode and practiced with Katie, my wonderful model, and the sequences that I will put up here next to me of her moving quite quickly were a bit slow. When I compare those to the 70-200 f2.8 Z mount lenses, but let's be honest, the 70-200 f2.8 Z mount or S line lens is absolutely fantastic. This is a F mount lens, a lot cheaper and a lot older. However, I was still impressed with the quality of the images. I shot JPEG straight out of the camera, as well as some raw images, which I thought were absolutely superb. I enjoy the color that comes out of these cameras, particularly, of course, the Z6. The next important step is to look a little bit at the bokeh. I shot a picture here of a snail just on the grass to give you that perspective, some of the foreground, and then of course the background bokeh as well. Now when I compare this to an image here of Katie at 70 millimeters, where you get that f4.5, I still would suggest to you to get the f4 fixed 300 pf or AF-P lens. And that's just a personal opinion to me because I like that f4 bokeh. And when you go to f5.6, you just simply lose that smoothness in the background. That's not for everybody. The focusing is good. The quality is very good. It's light and it's versatile. These are 4 of the qualities that this lens has that the fixed f4 doesn't have. The f4 from my previous testing, which I put a link up to here, was indeed a little bit slower. But I'm just a fan of that f4 and a fan of prime lenses in general. And that's because I don't feel like my best potential is reached using a zoom lens. And once you've used prime lenses, you realize that, or I have personally realized that going back then to zoom lenses, you lose it a little bit. I think that lower f-stop is worth it. I think it gives you more creative flexibility while not zoom flexibility. But if you have this lens, it works with the FTZ adapter. Here is a list of all of the F mount or DSLR cameras that are rather compatible with this AF-P lens. The list is not exhaustive, and perhaps you find or you know of more information about this, please leave it for the community here in the comments down below. That would be greatly appreciated. I think to wrap up this scenario, if you are a person who's looking to get into the mirrorless world and you still have some of these F-mount lenses, perhaps fairly recent purchases, that is, because this is not a new, but a fairly new lens, they do work on the adaptation with the FTZ adapter. Would I recommend it? To be honest, no. I still think that the S-line lenses are better equipped with the Z mount. Now, the big difference here is, of course, the video quality. The mirrorless system is meant to be a more hybrid system. It's meant to connect that still photography with the video world, which is now very important. So if you're still really focused on still images, I still recommend pairing this lens with a DSLR, a second-hand full frame, as it is an FX full frame lens, I definitely recommend pairing it with a full frame camera. And secondhand, or still of course new DSLRs are available and at very competitive prices. I still think, however, if you are one of those people that wants to bridge the gap and go into the mirrorless world because of the fact that the video system is better than the DSLRs, then yes, do it. It works and it's all right. I did other FTZ adapted lenses to F mounts in a previous video, which you can check out here. Go ahead and check that out. Once again, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next one. Bye bye.